All right, welcome back. This is Steve Shade here. We're starting a drafting business Facebook group, and today we are taking a look at our Pueblo. Now, I have spoke with a client and found out for sure that he does want a porch up here between the house and the garage. So let's put the garage on there just so we can see it. Now, the other thing to think about here is he wants it flush with this. So when we do that, we are going to, let's see, I'm going to snap a line across here just to show where the porch is. Or actually, I think I'm going to use a square. Yeah. So this is going to be part of the foundation. So since we did the foundation already, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. We need to know more information about the posts that are holding up this porch and the concrete on the ground. So first we're going to start with the concrete on the ground, and then I'm going to start drawing in the posts. So let's zoom in a little bit here, get that corner. And I want to come over here and whoa. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of lines to worry about here. Existing walls, addition walls. Right here, I believe, is where we need to be. Okay. So that will be the foundation of the porch. Now, we also need to put in the posts. Now, this is where we got to start thinking. He's going to need beams to come across from the wall here and end on a post here. Since we're not going to have him tie a beam into the existing garage. We're going to put a post right there to hold up that one. What's the distance there again? Let's get overall distance. Overall distance. Welcome to Thinking Out Loud with Steve. All right, here we go. Let's find out. Right here, come across to here. What do we got? 27, almost 28 feet. 28 feet, 28. Now, if we have, you want to consider lots of things. So one of the things you want to consider is view. So when people are coming up here, we want to consider what it looks like, how many posts you have. Right now we have 3 windows in the center, and a door off to the right, and an open space up to the left. So if we put an odd number of posts, we say we have 1 here, 2 there, 1 here, and 1 here. We won't put 1 on this end because it's going to use the wall as a support. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's about 5, but it's 6. So let's see, 1, 2, that's 6 openings. So we take the 28 basically and divide it by 6. So I'm going to grab my calculator because that's not even numbers. 4 feet 6 inches, or 66.66. So 4 feet isn't really much space. So we're going to make it bigger. So let's have less posts. Maybe half as many. So 3 posts. That'll be almost 8 feet. 9 feet post, or 9 feet between them, about. So let's start with this first post over here. We're going to use 2 by, or not 2 bys, I'm sorry. We're going to use 5 by 5, or 6 by 6s, which is 5.5 by 5.5. I put 1 right here on the end. Right there. Now, why didn't that line up with the garage, I wonder? We'll look at that in a second. Let's put this 5.5 inches in here. 5 by 5. There we go. So there's our first post. Let's come back up here and check this out. Didn't line up with the garage. Because, yeah, that's fine. It's because that corner of the garage kind of pokes out a little bit. So then I didn't adjust all that. That's fine. We leave it right there. 11 inches. All right. Now what do we have left? We have, let's copy this over. Use the copy function. Just move it over 9 feet at a time and see what it looks like. And see what we're at. And then we'll make some adjustments. Because it's supposed to be more than 9 feet. There we go. So by doing this, delta x function is going to copy the existing one and 9 feet to the left. And we'll do that again. Negative 9 feet. And we'll do it one more time. Negative 9 feet. Okay, so what that did is, that's pretty close. So we're going to get rid of this post. Let's figure out how many inches over we need to move these two to get rid of that post and keep this even. That'd be nice. A pretty big opening, 2 posts. Now some owners want just 1 post or no posts, or they want a bigger opening, and when they do that, you just require a bigger beam, and beams can get expensive. So I try to avoid them when possible. 11 inches, what do you know? 9 times 7, or 9 times 3 is 27. I should have known that. Alright, let's see. So if the beam sitting on that goes 9 feet 11, or 9 feet 5.5 inches over, and it's halfway through this one, and the beam sitting there 5.5 inches. I don't know, my brain's tired. I just can't figure this out. So I'm just going to use the good old hard method here. 189 feet 5.5 inches. For some reason I think that's a good measurement. And I want to move this over 2.5 inches. Make sure company function's off. Negative 2.5. Oh, I wanted, dudes. All right, we're gonna click that and press M at the center of that. Why did it do that? Okay, that's right. A post is 5.5 inches thick. Okay, for some reason I don't want it to be that way. So let's see if I can just move that over 1/4 inch. And then this also. Okay, there we go. Now this one, I'm going to copy it straight over to there. And I'm going to copy it again to there. It worked. This is what I wanted. I wanted it to be in there. And I don't know how to describe how I knew that. That's why I said I couldn't think straight. So there's this 5.5 right there. There's minus, okay, so it's 11 inches minus 5.5 for that one. So then I still have 5.5 more that I need to go. So that's what this one is. Then I wanted to go 5.5 more to get onto that wall. So that's where I did it. I did 7/11, or 27 and 11 inches. One here, plus another one for this. So that's how I knew how to do that. Okay. So then we can make this better by copying that. Good. Negative 9 feet, 5.5 inches. Now we know that's exact. So let's put these exact. Did it work? No, it did not. Oh, it did. Except there's 2 copies of it. Because I got the stupid copy function on. Golly, I've been doing this for 4 years and I still can't remember the stupid copy button. Alright, here we go. M. And here it's going to be V. Alright, so those are my beams. I actually want to put these in the beams section. There we go. Later I'll draw in the beams. Actually, you know, I should do that right now. I can still see the beams, which is good. So let's go to this rectangle. These are the beams. Later I'll texture them. I don't know how to texture them right now. I don't know what I want them to be. Okay, there we go. I'm going to unshow the beams because I don't want to see them. The posts I do, 3 posts. Okay, so now we're going to put a 1 foot or a 2 foot footer here. Oh, still on beams. Let's come down to foundation. Foundation. It's going to be 2 feet by 2 feet. And we need to move this thing over to the center of that one. I'm going to copy it and put it at the center of this one. Copy it, put it at the center of this one. There we go. I'm going to move this over because we're not going to go underneath the garage. There we go. So there's the foundation part there. Now these things here are footers. We're going to make them dotted lines. Pen hidden, just like the footer in there. Okay, pen. Okay, now optionally, maybe not. I'm going to take that back. Now, instead of like in here we put a footer here, we did not put a footer all the way across here. That's because there's no wall sitting on top of there. This is going to be a patio concrete, which does not need a footer on the inside. So it's going to be different layout. You're actually going to step out the front door and drop down 2 to 4 inches onto the patio. And the patio is going to have a slope down this way, away from the house. And you're going to have these footers underneath these posts that are flush with this, but they also have the extra concrete to hold up the porch. So now we've added the porch to the foundation plan. Now we need to put in some additional dimensions, which we should do that now. But then I'm going to also show you what we need to do for the roof plan at the same time, or on this same video. So let's take a look. This is going to be the placement of these posts. Actually, I want to put that here. There we go. And then, yeah. And there. It's funny that it's a 1/4 inch. That's because of our other measurements. Whoops. There we go. Good. Let's bring this out. So that's fishy. 1/4 makes sense. This does not. Oh, you know what? This thing isn't in the center. So I need to make sure I'm more careful about that. All right. Boy, I wonder if I could just press C. No, it's not going to work. I can press M though. So now it's in the center of that. I can bring it back down to guess, which is fine because I don't need that to be accurate. I just need this to be accurate. Alright, let's come back and make sure this one's right. Put that in the middle of that and bring it down. Too low. That's close. And this needs to be right there. There we go. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I don't think I need to bother with that one. Maybe I will, just to be consistent. I mean, anybody can figure this one out on their own, I think. So what do we got? What's the difference here? 9 1/4. So we got to make sure this is 9 1/4 less. How do I do that? I'm going to do that by doing this. I'm going to come out 9 1/4. 180. 9.25. I'm going to make sure this lines up. With that, I can get rid of it. Now we're going to come back. That just seemed easier. I could have done the math or whatever, but I don't know. Whatever's easy. Quartered off, quarter off, quarter off. That's good. Okay, great. All right, so there's the foundation. We're going to hide that now. And I'm going to move to the roof plan. What did I do? Foundation? What is this thing? It's supposed to be foundation. Where did I put it? I like it. I think I'll leave it on exterior walls. Same with these things. What are these things? Good. I think I'll leave those there. That way it shows up on every version of the plan. I don't have to worry about making multiple versions of it. Because almost every one of the plans has the exterior walls. Okay, so the roof plan. Yeah, roof plan. Okay, now remember, what we did here is we had the trusses run this way, and they're all 2 foot on center all the way across, and then we put partial trusses on these partial walls. Now here for the porch, we are going to have we're going to have the beams, so let's put the beams in there so we can see what we're looking at. Beams. Now the beams, this end of the porch are going to have beams on it, and then it's going to come up here to this part of the wall and sit on it. Now there's 2 things to consider here. It depends on what kind of porch we want. If we have a porch that has the same parapet walls as the house, then we can just have the trusses go straight across, the same as the house. It could be the house trusses all the way across. And that's actually what they did on this casita. This porch, they just used the same trusses all the way across to get this porch covered. So keeping that in mind, you know, I don't know if they're going to want little posts like I drew. They might want these big posts like this. I'll need to double check with the client on that. Oh, excuse me. So if that's the case, then we'll have to redo our little foundations here because these are different. And then the beams will be different. All that's different. Well, slightly different because they cover the beams and stucco over here. All right. Now, the way I've drawn it so far is a different type of roof style where you attach these trusses separately to the outside of the building and have them come down. And that would be a good way to do it if you were going to have them actually kind of a pitched roof here and put like ceramic tile on it. And I've drawn a house like that where you put a pitched roof of ceramic tile over the porch here. It does add a really nice change of pace for the and a southwestern look to it. It's pretty awesome. Now the other thing to do then would be to continue the parapet wall from here all the way across and make it look like part of the house. So, and then that's what they did here. So I think they're probably leaning towards doing that. So I'm going to double check with them actually before I go ahead and do this roof part, because you're going to do it differently if you do it. So if you do it with the parapet wall thing, you're just going to take these trusses and bring them down to here, just like that. Okay. Now, if you aren't going to do it that way, then you're going to have a truss right up against this wall to hold in the edge of the new roof, or this other roof. So then we basically just copy this one over right here. Copy function just beside it, right there. However, it does not set on top of this wall, so it's right here. Okay. Then from there, you'll come. Oops, wrong one. This one. There we go. From there, we'll go 2 feet over, or 2 feet on center, like this. So this is more of the angled roof. Now you could have it also where this is a separate parapet. It's lower than the house. And then this would also be the way you do that. If this parapet was lower than the house. And you could do that. Because I think we measured this as going to be, let's see, what was it? It was a 9-foot wall plus I think 4 feet. So it's going to be like 11 or 14 feet. We did it, the math, the other day when we did the roof plan. And then here, then could be a lot shorter. We can make it an 8-foot porch, and we could use rafters here instead of trusses to really lower that down, and put a short parapet on here, and it can just be a little short, almost like a deck looking thing. So there's 3 different ways to do it. So I'm going to clarify that with the client, maybe draw him a couple sketches to see what he thinks. Or maybe I'll just give him a call. And okay, so then there you go. So I'm going to leave that just like the way it is for now until I talk to the client more about it. But there's some of the things to think about when you're putting on a porch on this type of house. Alright, thank you for watching. If you would like to learn more about how to use TurboCAD or how to start your own drafting business, please join my Facebook group, Starting a Drafting Business. You can just search for it there in Facebook and you'll find us. Come join the group, and inside you'll find more tutorials like this one, as well as tips and tricks to starting your own drafting business. I have been doing this on the side for about 4 years now. And just part-time, I make about $10,000 a year. So it's a good side gig to supplement your income, or buy that toy you've been wanting, or pay the bills in my case. So I look forward to seeing you in the group. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.